No, go ahead.
So many contemporary artists, their work is untitled, so they're not even giving you a clue about. I don't know if that installation piece about the sunset in the desert was titled or untitled, but it's hard. I find it very hard to even begin to decipher what they're trying to say when you have no title, you have sort of no clue, and how much work should the observer have to do to appreciate or understand.
Well, the less scrutable a work of art is, the more work the viewer is going to have to do. And I think that the artists who make inscrutable works of art are particularly challenging you to try to get inside your head before you get inside theirs. I mean, what do you see there? What do you get out of the sound of whistling wind in the desert and music playing from that piano and the shuttered images of a desert sunset? I mean, eventually you probably will get it. But meanwhile, you're going to go through an entire encyclopedia of questions to yourself in order to figure it out.
Do you think it's more demanding now than it was?
Absolutely more demanding, because there's so many more cultures. You remember that aura, Benjamin's idea of the aura. The farther away we are from that light, from that aura that the artist has sent us from his time and place, or her time and place, the more difficult. And sometimes people hide behind that aura. You had a question?
Yes. As we were discussing, or as you were discussing, the idea of quality and how do you determine quality, and you ended up touching on it, and struck a chord with me. The idea of originality and surprise, unexpectedness. But then there's that dynamic can we really come up with an original idea? Hasn't it already been invented? Are we just merely reinventing the wheel? And so, I don't know if I have a question here, but...
You've raised lots of them, by the way.
But, I know that as an architect, and I know artists have this same struggle, there's the struggle to depict and to represent accurately, maybe, but there's also a struggle for some artists and architects and whatnot to be original, to be new, to be different, and to propel us, our society forward. So,
I think it's the crisis of our last 2 centuries, the 21st and the 20th century, to be original. It's what happened when the academy began to fade and the salon de refusés began to attract attention of people, and people began to feel free from the rigors and the rules of the academy to do something that allowed them to express their own ideas in their own ways, their own devices, their own styles. And it has become now almost a benchmark of what would differentiate somebody, so that gallery owners in New York are hounding, and I hope they come here, graduate student exhibitions to find the new voice, the new young thing who has the great new idea, often for its own sake. And the question is, what are we really gaining by that new idea? Is it something that's going to make an extraordinary difference or not? And remember that cultures like China, for centuries, had the entire reverse view, which was you sat and learned from the master, and you dedicated yourself to painting like the master, and that was your job. And so every painting thereafter looked slightly different. Now there were obviously artists who were breaking away from that, who could do that in their own private way, or in monasteries, who could paint in different ways. But that tradition has now been broken. If you look at Chinese art, what happened during the first eras, during their glasnost and perestroika, if that's the right word to use in China as opposed to Russia? There were all those artists that started portraying Mao, these big paintings of smiling Chinese and Mao. That era is gone because all that original idea is now become wallpaper. Now artists in China are beginning to see that there's a whole new world out there. That whole Chinese tradition of painting like the master is gone. Back in the 17th century, which is the world I know best, the difference between Rubens' studio practice and Rembrandt's studio practice tells it all. Rembrandt trained artists to be artists on their own style, their own way of painting. And many of those artists went on to have very successful careers, still somewhat perhaps using a little bit of Rembrandt's techniques. In Rubens's case, he had legions of people who learned how to paint trees, and so they painted Rubens's trees. Rubens would sketch them in, or paint the drapery, or paint the hair. And Rubens could leave the room, almost like the way Jeff Koons now makes his art. Jeff comes up with the idea, leaves the room, and this great balloon dog is made, and it sells for millions of dollars. It's a totally different way of thinking. One of the most exciting but dangerous things that can happen to a young artist, this is maybe a very unkind statement, and I don't mean it rudely, is for that artist, after they graduate from art school, to join up in a studio of a very famous artist. Breaking away from that artist's style and tradition after painting in that style is very difficult. And it takes an enormous amount of strength to take what you've learned and put it somewhere and then begin to express yourself. Now, I'm walking all around that subject you've brought up, but the whole question of originality is one of the most fundamental problems of 21st century art. Is originality for its own sake one of the most or the only important criteria? Or is it just one of those that fits into a scheme of a whole group of judgments you'd make? Yes, sir.
So, with your two triangles, the artist in the center, as a person going to a gallery or a museum, the artist isn't there to talk to, and what you intermediate is the artist's statement. Now, artists tend to be visual thinkers and not necessarily eloquent. And so, what is the role, in your view, of the curator or the gallerist and the artist to come up with an artist statement that allows the viewer to get into the other side of the triangle?
Well, that's the very important role of the curator. And I feel very strongly, by the way, that the curator has a personal role in this as well. I think it's critically important that curators sign their exhibitions. That is to say that there's a statement and a picture of the curator outside the exhibition that says, I chose these works of art from this artist's studio, or these artists, or this century. I chose these, and here's why. Because that's just another person. And you then enter into a dialogue with that person who's helping you on your side of that equation I drew to understand more about the object. But you're only still going to get insofar as the curator is able to introduce you to some of the universal ideas and values that are there. Because he or she has her own point of view as well. And learning that makes it a creative process in three ways. The artist and the work of art, the curator and his or her interpretation, and then yours as well. You're joining in a conversation together. Yes?
Yeah, Roger, you and I got to know each other through our mutual work in the United Arab Emirates in Qatar. Roger was there for 4 years.
4 years.
Helping the royal family acquire billions of dollars of art and establish museums. We were there working with the royal family on a campus. And my question is, you have dealt with many, many very wealthy collectors of art, people, again, that were acquiring billions of dollars of art. You've talked about the subjective side of art, and Benjamin and the aura of art. But Benjamin also talks about the objectification of art and the commodification of art, which is unquestionably an incredible trend in the 20th century. How are these contemporary artists responding to art as commodity? Are they? As an ideal?
Oh, boy. Did you all hear the question? How are artists today
in Benjamin's terms,
responding to the issue of commodification of the object?
How does that affect representation and
Well, we could get into a whole Marxist discussion about this.
That's what I'm trying to do.
As a matter of fact, it's a very complicated subject.
Yeah.
But, in fact, commodification is with us and always has been.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the Pope commissioned Raphael to do something, he was commodifying that object. He was establishing a value for that object that had to do with the importance for the Pope's reasons, as well as the reputation of the artist and what he hoped the product would be. There are people now who, instead of embellishing their houses or their cathedrals, are putting works of art they've bought into storerooms like good cheese or good wine and waiting for it to mature and bringing it out and selling it again. It doesn't matter what it looks like. They don't give a damn. They just want the money. You know, show me the money.
that's my. So how does that affect these contemporary artists?
I think you have to ask each artist, but
Yeah.
I have to say, generally speaking, that it is a very, very dangerous problem. Because I just finished teaching a course at RISD called Understanding Commercial Art Galleries, and it was all about the art market for young art students who were going to graduate and would be totally flummoxed by what they were going to see if they wanted to be handled by a gallery or if they wanted to create a gallery. They wanted to be a gallery owner. And by the way, a number of RISD alums have been very successful with their own galleries. So I took them around to places like Phillips Auction House, and they met with the CEO of Phillips. I took them to Chime & Reed. I took them to Paula Cooper, took them to David Tunick at the print fair, and he talked about print values. I took them to Barbara Krakow in Boston. She was fabulous. Took them to another old master print dealer. Took them to a young dealer who had just opened a gallery in Chelsea, and what it was like to open a gallery and begin to think about making money out of works of art. She had been a curator, by the way, at a contemporary curator at a museum, and now she was trying to stand on the other side of the table. Very complicated. And those students were trying to crack the code as well. And I have to say, what I think I know is, and I also shouldn't say this, but when I came back from Qatar, because I was privileged to have been offered all these 8 and 10 figure object price things, when I was in Qatar, the dealers kept calling me and saying, I have this, do you think Sheikha would be interested? Well, I wasn't working for Sheikha anymore, but I thought, I maybe know somebody who might like to do this, and should I sort of cross the line and become a dealer? Well, I tried. I called a few of my museum friends, and I still have a lot, and I looked online to see if their museums had those works of art. And if they didn't, I would say, I found this X, and it's this price, and would you be interested? And meanwhile, I would have negotiated with a dealer some kind of arrangement by which I could represent the object. I was way over my head. As over my head as I would have been if I'd been one of my students graduating and going to one of those dealers, and the dealer saying, well, maybe your work of art is worth $10,000. And over time, that student will gain acceptance and have several shows or be in group shows, and suddenly they're selling for $20,000, then $100,000, then $1 million. And then all of a sudden, fashion changes. And there they are with a studio full of works of art that used to be worth $1 million that aren't worth $10,000 anymore. What happens? That's commodification. That's unfortunately the underbelly real world of the art market right now. And teaching students how to be aware of what can happen to them and how to make sure that they don't get taken advantage of in that climate. The people that I took them through, I knew well because I'd worked with them and bought many things from these over my museum career. So I trusted them in their judgment, and they were very honest. But none of them were able to answer some of the really tough questions, about how do you make a deal. Barbara Krakow came the closest to telling people, look, if you're a young aspiring artist, it's better to have sold many things at a lower price than a few things at a high price. Just keep making and selling, and your career will follow. But don't, for heaven's sake, get caught up in this maelstrom and be a 35-year-old has-been in this rapacious effort of the art market to find the new and the different. Because there are still great things out there that are made by people who are 80 years old. This one gallery that we went to that was brand new was being organized by a woman who was selling works of art from the 70s and 80s, and she was really doing well. Sir, you had a question?
Yes, I heard 80 years old. I thought I should respond. Tom Wolfe wrote The Painted Word, and it gave the yin and yang of evaluation of art by the critics. And I guess as just a clod in the world of art, though I have a life as a magnificent artist, seeing the way the critics can create one of these new eras, and then another critic will have to counter that with another era. And at one point, some years ago, we were down in Soho, and went into a gallery, and I was totally unimpressed. But what finally drove me out of the gallery was on the floor, little wires and attachments to the floor, was the title of the work, and the title was Trash. And inside all of that area was a pile of trash. Now, somehow, I thought that was trashy. You know, what do I know? But some critic somewhere said, oh, this guy, he's the new age, and his trash outweighs anyone else's.
Well,
He said dump trucks or something.
Well, it was trash because it was a very, very old idea done badly. You know, the idea goes all the way back to the early 20th century with Duchamp and others who were, you know, using utilitarian objects or experiences to, and just designating them as art because they say so. Yeah, in a way. The problem is that there aren't many critics now who are creating new trends. There are lots of them who are watchers. There are all these observers now. Most criticism is observation. If you paw through art news, which by the way is now almost out of existence, or Art in America, the criticism you read is largely descriptive. Critics are now just describing what they see for two reasons. One, they're not probably quite sure what they see. And number two, they're worried that 20 years later, as I said before, someone's going to read this and say, oh, this guy was an idiot. So they're always looking over their shoulder at the future and not wanting to take a position. It would be very interesting to have a group of people get together and argue about a particular trend as being not as significant as one had hoped. It's a very curious time. There are lots of master's programs in art criticism these days, but I'm afraid that thanks to post-modern writing, you know, Harvardian or Frankfurt-style writing, a lot of criticism has become more about words than it is about what people are seeing as well. So it's a very complicated time. And also because, as I showed you in the lecture, the world of art has exploded and is now global. The global perspective is now very important to observe. So a critic living in New York, writing about somebody who's working in Lebanon, has got to do an awful lot more homework.
But the new age of the Impressionists, you know, breaking from the old establishment, it still has tremendous power. But that trash, I don't think, even now, it's not anything more than trash. So there are movements away from the strict academic presentation with something that truly is living and beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You see it all over. One of the most exciting things to do is to just go on a gallery crawl of a Sunday. Anyway, I've probably answered too many questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to close very quickly that the lecture that Roger just delivered, I think, is a powerful bookend to a lecture that we had early in the summer of one of our alumnus, Tim Lawson, who talked, for those of you that were here, talked a lot about some of his most, the pieces that he responded to the most, and Winslow Homer and Wyeth, and some of the titans, particularly of the American, sort of the American past. And he was talking a lot about the decisions that they were making there, and the content and the meaning that imbued into the artwork. And conversely, we have finishing off this year with a lecture by Roger looking to the future of art and sort of the meaning that can be gleaned through study of contemporary practices, contemporary ideas, and contemporary realization of these pieces. And if we can take that image of the two triangles with the art in the middle of the artist and the viewer, I'd like to sort of place LYME at replace that piece of art with LYME and have the past and the future. And that's something that Roger and I'm most appreciative of the conversations that we truly have an opportunity to hear, and I think we are doing this as I look into the eyes of one of our faculty members, of engaging in classical practices and also engaging with future practices for that sort of present moment to create stuff that is original, that is new, but that that carries meaning and carries academic substance and whatnot along with it. So this is the professionals. I'm looking over into the section with the BFA students when we were talking about the commodification and stuff. I had a dean's forum with students today, but they were asking about the professional practice of art and wanting more of that. And I think it was, I hope that you carry some of the message that Roger was talking about in that component back to the rest of the students.